All right, welcome back to the Here's the Deal channel. Let's just make sure that the audio is okay. If you guys can hear me, give me a 5x5. Let me test system audio right here.
Oh, LOL to anyone who thinks.
Can you guys hear system audio? Because we will be using that. All right, welcome back to the Oops. All right, so audio sounds like it's okay. Indiana auditor says, I know a lot of PRED catchers. You got to be careful what you say about are moving to Rumble. Yeah, you know why that is? Because this platform doesn't support the outing of adults who do bad things to little people. I mean, notice how I've got to censor myself just because you would think if you were going to top trend something, it would be the PRED catchers. Talk about a public service. They're literally doing something that law enforcement should be doing. They're literally out there apprehending criminals. And I don't even think the police appreciate it because maybe the police are in on it. That's really disgusting. I'm gonna talk about a couple things, and the reason I wanted to go live is because I wanted to watch this video with you. Now, I haven't watched this yet, and some people go, "Well, how'd you get the thumbnail? I just advanced so I could, see that if there was a law enforcement agent in this, and there is. This is called "Cop Assaults Someone for Making an ADA Complaint." Americans with Disabilities Act. Have not watched any of this video. Wanted to watch it with you live. Somebody shared it with me yesterday during the premiere or the day before, and I just kept it up on my tab and wanted to watch it with you guys so we could get a kind of a first blush reaction out of it. And let me just remind you guys, the reason I'm doing these videos right here, the reason I have a social media presence, and I've said this a lot, is because I want a better world. And I'm convinced that the best way you can create a better world is by setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. I'm only as free as you are. You're only as free as I am. If we live in the same community together, let's say you have a community of 10 to 15,000 like I do. That's the small city that I live in. It's just kind of like a little podunk town. But if it's just you against 15,000, you're going to lose. But if you can set brush fires of freedom in the minds of 10, 20, 30% of those people, you got a good chance of holding back the tides of tyranny. What was the percentage of the people who got involved in the Revolutionary War? I heard it was like 3 or 4%. If that's true, you can do that. You can push back the British Army, which at that time was the most formidable army on the planet. If you can do that with a ragtag group of colonists who just had brush fires of freedom burning in their hearts, imagine what you could do today with today's technology. So the reason I go over the Brandon Tatums of the world, the reason we're going to talk a little bit about this Candace Owens, Steven Crowder thing, the reason it's important to go over, this cop assaulting this ADA guy is because we want to set brush fires of freedom in the minds of men, and we want to use logic to do it. But I talked with somebody last night. I don't know if I should divulge who it is, but I talked to a pretty, high up there person in the auditing community. He doesn't even like that term, and I'm kind of growing unfond of it too. It's not really so much auditing as it is just being a journalist, just being a human being and exposing the evil and the lies and the hypocrisy and the inconsistency and the evil of what's going on in the system. But he said, really, we're not fighting for our freedoms. Because if we were applying the just force required to fight for our freedoms, they would take us down. They would take us out, or we would win. Because it's like Patrick Henry said, guard with jealous attention what? The public safety? The public security? No. Safeguard with jealousy the public liberty. Suspect anyone who comes near that precious jewel. Republican? Yep. Democrat? Yep. Politician? Yep. Governor? Yep. Your best friend? Yeah. Suspect anybody who comes near that precious jewel. Nothing will preserve it. What? The public liberty, but downright force. Patrick Henry said, and when you give up that force, you are ruined. So for example, if we had a just system, you wouldn't have a police force. If you had a just system, you wouldn't have an injustice court system. It's geared against us. It's fashioned to take away our liberties. It's created to take away our income. It's designed to tap into our time and laboring energy, to literally steal the product of our time and laboring energy. You know, that time that you spend, you know, that labor that you, exert to earn a living so that you can feed your family, so you can put a roof over their head, so you can put clothes on their back. That time and laboring energy, that's what they're trying to tap into. So if we set brush fires in the minds of men, then we can get a whole bunch of people on our side, which is the right side, guys. You have to know that this is the right side. This isn't the side that I think is right. This isn't the side that I feel is right or believe that's right. I know this is right. It's objectively right. It's self-evident that it's right. Because it's never right to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. It's never right for somebody to think they have a higher claim over your life and property than you. And it's never right to violate the golden rule to do to others what you'd want done to you. And that's exactly what cops do every single day. That's exactly what Supreme Court justices, the black robe tyrants of the Supreme Court, do every single day. That's exactly what the politicians do every day. They violate the golden rule. They violate the initiation of force with it shouldn't be done on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. It's happening all the time. Any semblance of freedom that we have right now is illusory. At best, you don't really have freedoms. When an organized criminal cartel police force calling themselves the Thin Blue Line Group, well, they might as well, support the Thin Blue Line. Oh my gosh, you want to see something sick? Let me show you something. James Freeman sent me a link. He sent me a link to this song. Have you guys seen the song Back the Blue? What's it called? Back the Blue? I'm going to play it. I wish I had set it up already. Let's see. Where is it?
Want to play an instrument?
Yeah, let me see. I might just play it on my phone, but I really kind of wanted you to see it.
And Haley, and we've just written a new song for our wonderful.
Okay, wait a second. Let me see if I can. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to play it on my phone.
Hey, it's Camille. And Haley, and we've just written a new song for our wonderful police. This is called Back the Blue. Yeah.
Listen to this. It's called Back the Blue.
Hello, it's Camille and Haley, and we are sisters from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Shoot. Oh, they're in Tulsa. I didn't know they were in Oklahoma. Okay, hold on one second. Here we go. First of all, the song is called Back the Blue, and it's basically a bootlicking song, and it'll make you sick. But this is why I'm doing this live stream today. This is why I do these videos. This is why I'm assuming Lackluster does his videos, and James Freeman does his videos, and NC Tyrant Hunter does his videos, because we're trying to set brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. In other words, take this seed of freedom and put it into your mind and have it replace the mentality of tyranny. These girls are going to sing about hailing and honoring their oppressors. Listen to this.
Who's gonna be there for you 24/7, even holidays? Our Minutemen of today, police departments take no breaks. Who's gonna stand for justice, running toward the bullets when we call? They give their lives, risk it all, and we never know their names. 911, it's an emergency. Wake up, they're fighting for you and for me. Don't give up. It's time we jump in and remind them we will always stand beside you. We will back the blue.
We will always stand beside them. We will back the blue. I was joking with James Freeman last night, and I was like, we need to hack into that song and change the lyrics and say, we will lick the boot. There's also another version. Let me just show you. There's a like an MTV video version where they actually have these cops dancing, and it's so cringy. Let me see. Oh, I should have had this all set up. running. They got him running like they have him running in 3 segments in this video, and it's all in slow motion. It's hilarious. Let me play that. Thin blue line gang signs. This is an ode to the thin blue line gang, who's constantly out there not serving and protecting, but harassing and collecting. The problem with this world is not so much that there are tyrants who try to oppress us. It's the little people who are being oppressed who say, oh, it's okay. Just back. We will back the blue. In other words, we will support the chains of our own oppression. We will do what it takes to make sure that these thin blue line gang members keep doing what they're doing. They keep getting funded, and they keep committing roadside piracy against us and violating our First Amendment rights. How many times have we seen videos? That's what the auditing community, for lack of a better term, that's what the auditing community does. They expose the fact that these thin blue line gang members are not for American freedoms. They're for socialistic tyranny. They won't even let you speak. They don't want you to exercise freedom of the press. They freak out when they see a camera. They hate it when you know your rights and you call them on it. Their egos cover their badges, and they care more about how they look in the camera's eye than actually securing your freedoms. And it's got these guys out in the cops out in the street, like looking like they're keeping the bad guys away. They are the bad guys. Brandon Tatum is a bad guy. Here's how we know he's a bad guy. Just listen to his words. Take him for what he says. Listen to what he says.
It's just these people.
And I know I've already uploaded this video, and I'm going to get to, there were some questions about this video and why the video disappeared from my other channel. I'm going to get to that in a second, but listen to the mentality that underpins the tyranny that we're trying to fight against.
People, they get into this weird world where they like, police officers are bad. They are here to violate your constitutional right. These people have never put on a uniform ever. A no-knock warrant is legal. It's a legal warrant. I've conducted no-knock warrants. I'm a terrorist for being a...
Did you hear what he said? A no-knock warrant is legal. I've conducted like it's okay if you conduct it. Oh, you conducted no-knock warrant. Oh, they're legal. Oh, that makes them okay. Legality doesn't equal morality, just like illegality doesn't equal immorality. It's like, yeah, slavery used to be legal too. He might as well say, slavery is legal. I go out there and I collect runaway slaves all the time. I do it. Yeah, it's wrong. Slavery is immoral. No-knock raids are immoral, especially when the door they're knocking on, oh, it was the wrong house. Oh, we flashbanged your baby and we killed your dog and we got you in jail for the next 60 days and it was all wrong. And now you're all, entwined with the bureaucratic red tape and it's going to cost you tens of thousands of dollars to get out. Yeah, it's legality. Almost all things that are legal are immoral and unrighteous and unjust. This is the mentality we got to fight against. We got to fight against the mentality of, we will back the blue. We will back gang activity. We will back tyranny. When you're backing the blue, you're backing tyranny. When you're backing the blue, you're backing anti-First Amendment rhetoric. When you're backing the blue, you're violating the Fourth Amendment right for people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects. You're backing the drug war, the long, costly, failed drug war. It's just infuriating. And so what you try to do with these social media platforms, while we still can, is try to infuse a little bit of logic so something will turn on in somebody's mind to create a better world for ourselves. Because let me tell you, I don't care how many views you get. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what kind of car you drive or how big the house is or how many friends you got or whatever. We're about to lose everything. They're meeting in Davos right now, in Davos, Switzerland, at the Davos meeting 2023 with the World Economic Forum, and they're planning how they're going to destroy our lives in the name of saving our lives. It's all on the table. And if America, the last bastion of freedom, so-called, doesn't step up and Americans don't go, you know what? We cannot accept domestic terrorism, so we sure as heck aren't going to accept international terrorism. That's what's coming our way. They want to worm themselves in. They want to set up their governors. They want to set up their presidents. They want to set up their people in power and the politicians. The WEF does, so they can institute the CBDCs, the central bank digital currency. This goes way beyond auditing. This goes to, we got to change the world. It's imperative and we got to do it. It's imminent. We got to do it now. So this guy saying, hey, no-knock warrants are legal. No-knock warrants are approved by my politicians. I've conducted them. That doesn't make it okay. That makes you part of the problem, Brandon.
Police officer. That's not reasonable. I've conducted no-knock warrants.
Police officers are bad.
They are.
And the little coward that made the video about me.
He's talking about me. And you'll see that in the next video. So what I'm doing is a lot of people were saying, hey, where'd the videos on your Grease Monkey Videos channels go? I've searched for it all over. He didn't post any links at the end. He said all links in the description of the pinned comment. Yeah, I apologize here. I'm gonna like that. He left us hanging. This is a video I did like 10 months ago. Put it on my Grease Monkey Videos channel. I've deleted it from Grease Monkey Videos because I'm trying to migrate all of my police accountability and police interaction videos from my other channel to this channel right here so that they can be completely separate. So the Grease Monkey Videos will be completely different content. And so this channel will be completely different content. So autobiography, that's hilarious. Yeah, so that's what happened to that video. I took it down because there's another consideration is you don't want a duplicate content violation, or it's called something about duplicate content. So I don't want it on this channel and on that channel. So the next video in the Brandon Tate thing that I said that I would link to, it's going to be on this channel right here. And then I'll make sure at the end of it, when the dust settles, I'll put the link in the description in the pinned comment. So I apologize about that. I apologize for the confusion. There's also some police interaction and accountability videos on my High Impact Flicks channel that I'm going to migrate over here. It just takes a little time to do that kind of stuff. So that's what that's all about. So he's talking about me right here because somebody, I guess, shared a video that I did exposing him. I call him Brandon Soften Him Up Tatum because one day there was this kid who was, I guess, engaged in some activity on the street where he was buying tobacco products from somebody. This cop gets involved when he shouldn't have. This kid didn't create a victim. The person who was buying the tobacco products didn't create a victim, but this cop decided to interject himself into this situation, got on top of it. And then we're talking about a little kid. It doesn't matter if he's little, but this makes it even worse. This little 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old kid with these little stick arms, and he tackles this kid. This cop does, this 40-something-year-old big 250-pound cop, and gets on top of this kid, straddles him, and starts pounding his chest. And Brandon Tatum goes, well, that's okay because he wasn't hitting his face. And Brandon Tatum was going, that cop was just trying to soften him up. No, the cop was abusing him. The cop was literally violating and threatening the life of a kid. But Brandon Tatum thinks it's okay because the cop was wearing, the man was wearing a costume and had a badge and had a utility belt and came with the authority of the state. So he's basically saying, hey, child abuse is okay as long as the guy who's doing it is wearing a uniform. And this wouldn't even wash if you were driving on the road and you saw an adult straddling a kid in his own yard. Wouldn't you get involved and try to save that kid? If you saw an adult, a grown adult, on top of a kid straddling him and just pounding him as he's laying there on the ground, and let's say that adult was a parent, wouldn't you get involved because somebody's getting assaulted here? I think I'm going to get involved here. But nobody gets involved because the guy who's straddling and pounding this kid into next week is a cop. And it's okay with Brandon Tatum. This is the psychopathy. This is the mental midgetry that we're trying to combat here. And it pisses me off that people don't see this. It pisses me off that this guy literally has 2.5 million subscribers that are oblivious to his nonsense. Not only that, not only does he push the Thin Blue Line Gang, not only does he push Donald J. Trump, in this left versus right paradigm lie thing, which is a uniparty, this guy actually is promoting the left versus right paradigm lie, which desensitizes Americans into believing, hey, I got to get involved in politics. I got to go vote for the chains of my own oppression. Guys, if voting worked to secure your liberties, it'd be illegal. They wouldn't allow you to do it. The reason they want you to vote is because they want you to participate in the chains of your own oppression. That's why I say with Larkin Rose, politics is now and will always be the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, and fear-mongering in order to dupe average people into accepting and even demanding the chains of their own enslavement. Please rob us and rule us.
earlier, the dude is whack, man. The dude is super whack. Yeah,
I'm whacked because I point out the fact that he is for tyranny and against freedom. That's what makes me whacked. And so it's easy. See, I don't think I've ever called Brandon Tatum a name that I couldn't substantiate with logic. I call him a tyrant. I call him a bootlicker. I call him a badged authoritarian because he is, or an ex-badged authoritarian, because that's what he is. I can demonstrably, objectively prove that. Am I saying Brandon Tatum is an idiot? Well, on the scale of justice, he would be idiotic. Yeah. But this guy, all he has is ad hominems. Can I prove that this guy is a bootlicker? Absolutely. How do I do it? I just let him talk. He proves that he's a bootlicker. I'm for freedom. You're for freedom. You're for the First Amendment. You're for the Fourth Amendment. No exceptions. You give up your Fourth Amendment. You give up your First Amendment when you commit a crime. And you haven't committed a crime if you broke the rule or disobeyed the rule of a politician. And that's what laws are. They're the opinions of politicians backed by the threat of brute government force.
I just said that because some idiot that they were talking about a minute ago made a video about me. I mean,
Idiot.
that dude is crazy, dude. I don't pay no attention to these haters. I almost had
I don't pay any attention to these haters, and my entire video is me paying attention to these haters.
to put these hands on somebody at the grocery.
And this right here, I almost had to put my hands on somebody in the grocery store. He's actually talking about somebody that he claims is a leftist. He doesn't know that. Tried to fight me. He admits, well, that's not true. I just put that as a thumbnail. Basically, he's lying to his audience. And he's telling them things that aren't true. And he's leading them down the road of totalitarianism. And if we see that and don't speak up to challenge it, what does that say about us? It's almost like, the bad cop, good cop. Well, what's a bad cop? A bad cop is a person who initiates unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. They're minding their own business and they pull them over and they exercise roadside piracy and economic terrorism on them. Well, if the good cops don't say anything about them and stop it, then they're just as bad as the bad cops who are actually doing the evil actions.
I almost had to throw the hands on homeboy at the grocery store. Now I almost had to put my hands on homeboy. I may have to put these hands on somebody, or I may have to, pull out the strap.
I may have to pull up the stripe means, oh, this guy, and here's the context. He walks into a Costco or some wholesale store and a guy sees that he has a thin blue line gang sign on. Well, what's your reaction to a thin blue line gang sign? Mine is, I don't even shoot the bird, but I'd be like, dude, do you realize what that stands for? You're literally supporting tyranny. You're supporting domestic tyranny and terrorism on American soil. He's saying that the guy who passed him and gave him the finger and in condemnation of the thin blue line flag were fighting words, and he almost had to pull out the strap on him. In other words, this guy has the mentality, the mental midgetry to think that, oh, this guy offended me because he spoke against my thin blue line gang sign. So the only answer, obviously, is thoughts of violence on this guy. Not, hey, let's have a conversation. Let me try to understand where you're coming from. Nope. He wants to put up the dukes. And that's what his thumbnail was. His thumbnail was literally this right here. This right here. That's his thumbnail. Let me move this out of the way. His thumbnail is leftists try to fight me. That's untrue. This is guy. We don't know if he's a leftist. And this guy, and Brandon Tatum was willing to pull out a firearm as a show of force against a thought that he disagreed with, because the guy expressed his thoughts about the thin blue line flag. Look at his face right there. Oh, I'm going to put up my dude. Oh, I'm going to get you. Oh, you hurt my feelings. You spoke against the thin blue line flag. Well, don't you have an argument to support your side? Well, let's get into it. Let's get into a little dialogue. Here's why I think it's the thin blue line flag of domestic terrorism. And it truly is, guys. So that's that right there. And if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. I just want to move right along. And I do want to speak, and I know this isn't really the channel that I usually do this on, but I can't even stand the left versus right paradigm lie, because Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum and Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire and Steven Crowder all think the thin blue line gang are just A-okay. That's what's preserving freedom in America. So she says that Steven Crowder, from the Loud Earth Crowder show, is and has been for a long time a wolf in sheep's clothing, that he's an actor who's still lying and treats people like crap and has for a long time. Just ask the employees at the Blaze. Just ask the employees at CRT or the other places that he's been employed with. Just ask how bad of a character this person is. So my question to Candace Owens is, if you knew he was so bad, why weren't you warning people about him before this whole Daily Wire Steven Crowder thing came out? And if Steven Crowder and Daily Wire solidified the contract and actually Steven Crowder became a contract employee, it would be an independent contractor for the Daily Wire. After they solidified the deal and the ink was dried, would you have remained silent? Probably. What evil do you know about Jordan Peterson, who works for the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, who works for the Daily Wire, Matt Walsh, who works for the Daily Wire? All of those are involved in promoting the left versus right paradigm lie. All of those are involved in promoting the thin blue line. Gang, listen to what she says right here. Her words actually condemn her.
Well, LOL to anyone who
Just as much as they condemn Crowder.
thinks that Steven Crowder is not doing this to make money. Like, I mean, I just have to outwardly laugh. He's the person in a disguise. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? He's like, I'm here because I care about all of you. That's why I'm recording my friend and doing this crappy thing where I literally could have just said.
And I got to tell you, on the other side of it, what Steven Crowder did to this Jeremy Boring, who owns the Daily Wire, was a cruddy. If they are truly friends, then you don't air that in public. Otherwise, it's known as something called, what is it? Oh, yeah, right, betrayal. So if Steven Crowder is willing to betray his friend, not because he's a part of big tech and big con, but because he's unhappy with the terms of the contract, which he could have renegotiated or walked away from, that tells you everything, in my opinion. That tells you everything you need to know about Steven Crowder and really all the people who are contracting with the Daily Wire at the very least. If you open up the can of worms and the welcome mat for tyranny and domestic terrorism at the Blaze or CRT or Loud Earth Crowder or Candace Owens or the Daily Wire, and you don't even have to open the can of worms because you see it. But if you really pulled back the veil and lifted the covers of what's really under there, there ain't no telling what you would find, because on the surface it's bad enough. So now we got all this infighting, and this, it wasn't even a contract. It was more like a pre-contract. It was like a term sheet. Like here are some proposed terms. Let's negotiate. But no, Steven Crowder had to, play the video, play the audio recording. It's just a bunch of drama. But the reason I play this drama stuff right here, and the reason it is so important, is because these people influence a lot of folks. They are in the minds of a lot of people. They are conveying the message of, hey, politics is great. Get involved in voting. Vote for DJT, which means voting for the chains of your own oppression, which means vote for somebody to rob and rule you. These guys are the ones that promote the thin blue line cult, and we wonder why we're constantly having to fight on these videos and push back for our First Amendment rights, for our Second Amendment rights, for our Fourth Amendment rights. It's because they're constantly pushing back against us. They are the tyrants. They're the ones who are planting the seeds that germinate, that grow into these huge trees, shade trees of tyranny. And the darkness is on our land because of them. So when people go, well, I don't really care about this doesn't affect me. Yes, it does. How does it affect me? Because it affects everybody in your community who gives ear to this kind of stuff. And that's why setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men is so important. And that's why dealing with this stuff is so important. We got to we can't put our heads in the sand.
No, I don't like those terms, and then said to everybody, I'm starting my own outfit. Fair. You walk away all the time. You have I have walked away. I had an offer from the Blaze. It didn't work for me. You know what I mean? I didn't need to piece.
Afro Man Live says, just stop by to show some love. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you. Appreciate that, Afro Man Live.
The contract. I love those guys. I think Tyler is amazing. This is what I'm saying. People need to stop thinking that he is some knight in shining armor. He's not. He's not a knight in shining armor. And if you can't see that, watch this video, because I think his acting is never more apparent. Even the titles. I didn't want to do this. Oh, really? Then why the hell?
She is shredding Steven Crowder. And I really doubt, thanks for becoming a member, Afro Man. I really doubt that she would continue to shred him if he signed the contract with the Daily Wire, which she also has a contract with. So what does this tell you? It tells you that these money is more important to these people than integrity. If you don't have a person speaking to your camera screen that has integrity, not that they're not going to make mistakes, not that they're not going to get it wrong, but they have integrity, they're not there for the money. They're not there for the views. They're there to get out their message no matter what happens. Wherever the truth chips fall, that's where they're going to land. And that's acceptable to people that aren't on the hook for money. We're talking about, guys, Steven Crowder's contract was $50 million over the course of 4 years, $12.5 million a year, which is like $1 million a month, $250,000 a week. And Steven Crowder was wanting to negotiate that up to $120 or $140 million. These guys are not interested. They're only interested in putting on content so they can get clicks and they can get views and generate ad revenue and buy get a whole bunch of money. You know what you could do with $50 million, $200 million, $100 million, $120, $140 million? You could literally change the world. You could create your own self-contained, almost like a monetary system, like a market within a market where free markets actually roam. And if you got enough people on board, then you could insulate yourself from the trouble that's going to come, because the government doesn't want you to have a market away from theirs. That's why they can't stand the black market, because they can't regulate it. They can't make money on it. They can't exercise power over it. And that's why they call it the black. You don't want to get involved in the black market, do you? Well, the real black market is the one that's controlled by the Federal Reserve and the IRS and the IMF and the United States government that's been co-opted. That's the real black market. The real free market is what the government calls the black market. What the $50 million, and he was wanting to negotiate that up, and then Jeremy Boring from Daily Wire put out the video kind of making Steven Crowder look real bad. And she's saying he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Look at the acting. Are people really believing this crap? The reason Steven Crowder's doing this is for the money. Well, what are you doing it for, Candace? What are you doing it for, Ben Shapiro or Jordan B. Peterson? Who do you guys support and endorse? Oh, that's right. Isra H-E double hockey sticks. The Z crowd, the Zio crowd. They'll always lay cover for them. The left versus right paradigm Zio lie.
How did you record him? What were you doing that for? Did you think you were going to go to court?
Fair point.
Did you think you were going to go to court? Because that's the only reason you record someone. You'd be like, I don't trust my ex-fucking wife. Pardon my language, okay? I don't trust my ex-wife, so I'm going to record this phone call for safety, right? You record it because you're nervous that there's going to be a court hearing or the police are going to find out, and you've got to back up what you said, okay? Why are you recording your friend? If not because you think it's going to go to court. Oh, because you think it's going to go to public, and you're doing it intentionally because you know you're about to start a war. People, please use your common sense. It's not even.
Yeah, people, please use your common sense. Use your common sense on Candace Owens. She's being a freaking hypocrite right here. Yeah, what Steven Crowder did was bad. Very bad. And the issue, what the issue should be is, now look at the terms of my contract. Look what they're trying to make me do. They're trying to make me silence my voice for the sake of, being on social media platforms. The overall picture is Steven Crowder literally called these people, quote, in bed with the establishment, doing that which is bad for America and bad for their viewers. Shouldn't that be the issue? And now the issue is, okay, if that's the case, if they're truly in bed with the establishment, what makes them in bed with the establishment? Identify who they are and exactly what they got wrong and how they're leading America back in the wrong direction.
I work for Daily Wire is because he personally he's lying, and he insulted me, and during his lying campaign, he's still lying. He even said something in this video where he's like, now they're sending out their... No. You took... If you're going to aim and you're going to hit somebody with shrapnel and it's going to be me, you better aim correctly, because I don't like shit like this, okay? I have been quiet. I know Steven Crowder treats people like absolute trash. It's a known thing in the conservative movement. Ask anybody.
It's a known thing in the conservative movement, and yet the owners of the Daily Wire... If she's right, and she is, it's a known thing in the conservative movement that Steven Crowder treats people like crap and is a known liar. If that's true, then why would the Daily Wire want to sit down and have a contract with him so that he can become an independent contractor creating content for them? Why would you want that? Oh, that's right. It's because they don't care about integrity. They don't care about doing the right thing. They don't care about the character of the individual. All they care about is tapping into a talent. We heard that word a lot. so they can generate more views and clicks and ad revenue so they can make a whole bunch of money. They don't care about doing the right thing. They just care about the views, the clicks, the people, the money. Listen to her. She says it's a known thing. Everybody in the conservative movement knows about Steven Crowder.
Treats people like absolute trash. It's a known thing in the conservative movement.
Known.
Ask anybody that works at the Blaze. Any person who's ever had a show on the Blaze, how Steven Crowder treats people. By the way, you want to talk about contract negotiations? Why doesn't somebody reach out to Not Gay Jared, right, who used to be with Steven Crowder, and figure out why he can't speak? Why doesn't Steven Crowder release Not Gay Jared from his NDA? I don't like shit like this. It's all.
There's a guy that used to be on the Crowder show. He was the lead guy. He was his right-hand man they called him Not Gay Jared. And apparently he quit. A lot of people don't know why he quit. They're speculating, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, Steven Crowder had Not Gay Jared sign a non-disclosure agreement, which is pretty shady to me. So let me just leave you with this. If it's true that everybody in the conservative movement, or at least most people, knew what kind of character they were dealing with when they had Steven Crowder, why is the Daily Wire interested in, why were they interested in entering into a contract with him? It could be none other than we're tapping into the talent so we can make a whole bunch of money. We don't give a damn. We'll let the integrity slide. We'll hire somebody we know is a bad character, a bad actor, because we want to make a whole bunch of money. James Barnes reminded me that I've got this. I've got a Rumble account. I don't pay much attention to Rumble. Maybe I should. So I'll start uploading more videos on this Rumble account. If you want to, here's the Rumble URL. We're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this cop and see what he does with this. It says cop assaults somebody for making an ADA complaint. This comes from the YouTube channel Max Crick. If it's good, I say we go over there and we blitz him with a whole bunch of new subscribers for him. Let's check this out. I said all that to basically say my goal here on this platform, and I hope it's your goal too, and I hope it's the goal of everybody who has a channel who's getting out content, is to set brush fires of freedom in the minds of men. The only way we change this world is by changing people's minds. And when people's minds change, hopefully their heart will change. And then when you got your mind, heart, and heart on the battlefield of freedom, you can effectively, 100% effectively, fight against the tyranny that's constantly coming against us. So let's check it. Let's check this out.
How you doing? Yeah, he's in. Yep.
What's the issue?
Huh?
What's the issue?
They're not being ADA compliant, you know what I mean? And it's just like discrimination, you know what I mean? It's the way I feel. I humiliated in the DMV because their computers aren't working. That's not my fault. And then when I go ask for help calmly, oh, we don't got enough employees. You know what I mean? That's not my fault. I should have access anybody, anything in the DMV that anybody in normal public has access to. I should have the same access.
Okay.
It's discrimination, and I want a police report done straight up.
Okay.
Because they're not being ADA compliant, and I'm going to make them. Just like I made the courts this morning. And I want my money back that I spent in there.
Would you,
I paid the fees to get my license. And they told me that they're ADA compliant, and they're not. So I need my money back. And I need the supervisor's name, the security guard's name, and who they work for.
okay, well, the officers will see what he does.
Yeah.
Hey, Tennessee Accountability, I'm trying to bring that link up that you got. Let's see. For some reason, it's not letting me go to that page. Let me see. Oh yeah, I was planning on doing a video on the Battle of Athens. Actually, I think it's you that brought it to my attention. All right, we'll get back to this. Renee Bernay says, never ever call the police for help. I'd seriously
Honestly,
rather
feel
call
like
a...
I'm being further discriminated against because I can't go in there and actually get my money back right now because your officer told me to stay here.
Well,
You know what I mean? Like I broke the law or something, you know what I mean? Which is wrong. It's wrong.
we have to separate everybody and get everybody inside of the store too.
Well, they're public employees too.
So Max, I just took a test on the same machine that you were using. It's working correctly. They said, hold on. They said that you took one test and finished it and passed it, and now you're on a second test?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you actually go back and take that other test, that test never reads the answers.
Okay.
I'll go in there and prove it. No, let me go back in there and prove
Max.
it to you because I'm not. Yeah.
If you come up like this, you're not going back in there.
Well, I want my money
hold on,
back.
Hold on.
Because I was
Max,
discriminated
can you
against.
just listen?
No, you're not getting me to listen.
They are willing to let you come back in.
After I had to make a scene and tell everybody my disability, do you know how fucking embarrassing that is, man?
Don't scream at him. He's not yelling.
That's very fucking. Ugh.
And I understand that you're upset.
That's why I want to report with their name and
There's
stuff
gonna-
on it
there's
because
gonna-
I want to turn them into the ADA because they are not ADA compliant.
Okay, there's going to be a report regardless.
fine.
And every time we come here, we generate a report.
And I need your guys' business cards too.
I don't have a business card. They are willing to let you come back in and finish the test.
I want my money back.
So
How
long-
about that? Because I
Okay.
know the DMV in Red Bluff, they are ADA compliant.
Do you want to
110%.
go in here and finish your test?
No,
or not?
I want my money.
Is it that's interesting. Is this California? Because if he's talking about Red Bluff, California, that's where Trish is from. That's interesting.
Money back.
Okay, I don't know if they'll give you a refund.
Well,
That's
I need to go find out because I'm gonna go in there and find out because you can't hold me back. I'm doing business here.
Well, you
So-
hold on, Max. Hold on.
Don't stop me.
Max,
I'm not doing nothing
you're
wrong.
not-
I'm going to ask
you're
for
not-
my money back. I don't need cops to do that
You're
for
not
me.
going to be allowed
Max.
in there if this is how you're going to act.
So you guys are.
They won't let you in there.
I'm just asking for my money
still
back.
have to be
So you
civil.
guys are refusing. I am civil.
We can work with them.
I am
We
civil.
can talk to them.
You
A cop's going to give pointers and directives on how to be civil. That's a riot.
guys are being recorded right now. You know that, right?
I don't care if I'm being recorded.
That's
I'm being recorded
so you guys are stopping me from going in and getting my own money
because
back.
you're yelling and screaming.
I'm not
and
yelling.
Not letting me finish.
I'm not yelling.
It is a good idea to calm down because the masters of escalation are the cops. And if you escalate, they're gonna escalate. Even when you de-escalate, they're escalating. So it's kind of a bad, it's kind of a not a prudent idea to raise your voice. If you want to do something, you got to kind of, you got to kind of exercise a little bit of wisdom in that kind of. I'm not saying I'm against what this guy's doing, but I am saying when you obey a cop, you could get tased or killed. When you de-escalate, you could get tased or killed. So, how about if you, what do you expect when you escalate in the presence of cops? Well, they're going to try to escalate for sure. It's almost a foregone thing because I'm just expecting the assault to come. These cops are ego driven, they're pride driven, they're power hungry, they're drunk on their own authority, and you can pretty much expect bad things if you don't try to bring them down. And if you're way up here, they're gonna try to beat you.
Go in there and tell them that you
I don't need you to do
Max,
nothing for me.
You can't go in there like this.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. Nitzid, yelling and screaming at thieves is civil. I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying, hey, if you can get shot by producing an ID, following a directive of a cop, do you think you're not going to get shot if you escalate something? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying what he's doing is wrong. I'm not saying his feelings are wrong. I'm just saying maybe prudence, in all the videos that I've seen, it might be better because your life is in jet. When you're facing a law enforcement officer, you're facing somebody who took their humanity off when they put their costume on, and they hung it on a coat hanger somewhere. If they have any of it to hang anyway, they hung their humanity on a coat hanger, and now they're operating as order followers. There's nobody more dangerous in this world than a badge wearing costume wearing order follower who does what he's told, regardless of if it's right or not. So it seems to me prudence and wisdom would dictate, hey, let's try to bring these guys down a little bit because they're already apt to be up and escalating.
Why? What law did I break?
You are disturbing the peace, interfering.
I'm disturbing the peace. They're the ones that disturb the peace.
I will go in there and tell them that
that's not how that works. I am calm. I will be calm. I'm going to go in there and get my money back. So please.
Yeah, that's a way better way to put it, Clownzilla. It's not illegal to escalate. Might not be smart, but it isn't illegal. And it's not even. I'm not even saying that he's doing wrong by being. I mean, I think looks like he's got a right to be upset. I'm just questioning how dangerous that makes it for you if you're going to be upset.
You're going to get
Please don't touch me. I'm going to get
Max.
Don't touch me. You guys are disturbing the peace here. I'm calm. I'm going to be calm. No. You got
Max, you need to go home.
I don't need to go home. I need my money back.
Then let me go ask
No.
if they can refund it or if they can transfer.
I don't need you to do that. I don't need you to do that. Stop. I'm being calm. I can go in there calmly and ask for my money back myself.
How about this? I have the supervisor come out here and talk to you about
I'm going to walk in there. This is discrimination right now.
Yeah, James Byrne says they stole his money. That is a crime called theft. And aren't they supposed to be law enforcement officers? Aren't they supposed to be stopping crime? Are they giving preference to this organization because it's part of the injustice system that they work for?
Or discriminating against me. You're making me get loud. You're making me get loud.
Yeah, that's another. Bruce R says yelling like that is the fastest way to get arrested. You know, they'll pull anything out of their hat, even if you're calm. How much worse if you're escalating? They'll say, "Oh, you crossed the line, Max. Now you're disturbing the peace. We got it on our body cameras. The court's going to agree with us. The judge is going to agree with us." Make them look as bad as possible. Make the contrast so stark, and you were so calm, and they're the ones that laid their hands on you, that when it goes before a jury. Remember, when you got your camera out, this is the portable courtroom. You're giving the judge a bird's eye view of what actually happened. So help him out, help the court out, make it indisputable that the cops were the ones who were in the wrong and you were in the right. Make it look absolutely indisputable that the cops were being the children, the cops were being committed illegality against you, and you were the one that actually crossed your T's, you dotted your I's, you tried to de-escalate, and you exposed their lies.
It's on your own dash cam.
I will have the supervisor come out and talk to you about the refund.
Where's your supervisors? I want your supervisor.
Can you call Sergeant?
Please call your supervisor, because you're discriminating against me,
Stay outside. Stay outside.
You're discriminating against me. I'm not.
We are trying to.
No, you're not helping. Then shut up and let me go get my own money back.
Can't, because you are yelling and screaming.
I'm not yelling.
There are children in there.
You're making me yell.
I'm not yelling. You're making me yell.
You're making me yell because I want to go get my money back.
I'm not yelling, so how am I making you yell?
Just let me go get my money back, please.
I will go.
I'm asking you. No.
Go get Wendy and have her come out here.
Stop.
Max,
creating a scene.
You're creating a scene.
They have to create this.
No, I'm not waiting. I'm going in there myself. You're discriminating against me by telling me I can't go conduct my own business.
We're not going to let you go in there if you're going to create a
Where's your supervisor? Get your supervisor out here, because...
How about you wait out here till our supervisor...
No! I want to conduct my business. You guys are holding me from doing my regular business.
Max, you left the building on your own accord.
No.
See, the way he's acting outside doesn't mean that's the way he's going to act inside. From the officer's perspective, they're like, unless you settle down, you ain't going in there. And he's like, no, you're standing in my way of conducting business. Furthermore, they got my money, and I want to get my money back. And you guys are really antagonizing me, making me all upset.
They told me to leave the building.
And you left.
And I came out here and I called the cops.
So you called us for help.
No.
Let us help you.
XHVAC says, thanks for... Have you shown his courthouse video yet? No, I've not seen that.
Called you to do an ADA complaint. and you guys need to go do that. No, you're not. You guys are escalating the problem here. Yes, you are.
Just because you're not getting your exact way does not
No,
mean
that's
you're
not the way it works. You guys right now are discriminating against me because I can't go take care of my own business, and you're threatening to arrest me.
Nobody said anything.
Yes, you did. Then let me go in here and take care of my business.
You are not.
Are you going to arrest me then? Don't put your hands on me. Don't assault me.
You're under arrest for disturbing the peace.
There you go. Disturbing the peace. There you go.
No text found at that location.
Don't. Mom, take my phone. Mom, take my phone.
Snapshot. Video underscore recording.
Wow. I'm going to subscribe to his channel. I'll go to his channel and Max Crick. So there's another. Is there a follow-up video to this? Let's see. Orlando courthouse violating all sorts of people's rights. Do you guys want to watch another one? I went ahead and subscribed to his channel. He's got 162 subscribers. A couple of the comments are, there's no situation where a police officer can't make it worse. That's true. Hire attorney, file lawsuit. It's going to be very difficult because of the way he was acting. I'm just being honest. It's going to be difficult because of the way he was acting to get anybody to sympathize with his position. And it's going to be very easy for them to sympathize with the cops' position because they seemed like they were more calm and de-escalating than he was. That's just how people are going to see it. I understand why he was upset, and I don't condemn him for being upset, but I'm just telling you how the masses are going to see this. They're going to be sympathetic to the cops and not to him. Hire an attorney, file lawsuits, refuse generous settlement offer, go to trial 2 years from now, enjoy your well-deserved judgment. Never call the police. I wonder who did call the police. Yeah, you know, guys, oh my gosh, calling the police is like one of the worst things you can do. The people who usually get assaulted by the police are the ones that called for help. I need a welfare check. Well, that was a harmfare check because you harmed the person. It must be a nightmare to have a disability and run into non-compliant businesses, especially government agencies. Yep, I bet it is. Treating this man with disabilities like a criminal is probably the icing on the cake for this guy. I know the cops believed that they were trying to help him, but what they actually were doing was making him feel even less of a person than he already feels. Yeah, that's another thing. See, I'm speaking as somebody who doesn't have a disability. There's no telling how much flack he's gotten, no telling how much, judgment has come his way because he has a disability. No telling how much discrimination he's gotten. They should have allowed him to get his own money back. He seems perfectly capable of that. They could have walked in with him. They could have walked behind him and just seen how he was acting. And if he started, but still, it's just words, guys. It's just words. I mean, people get upset all the time. Does that mean you should lay your hands on him? The guy was just wanting to go in to conduct his business. Why is it so rare for an officer to practice a word they profess so often, de-escalate? It seemed like they were pretty calm to me. He just won the police lottery. The lawsuit against the police and the government institution that discriminated against him is going to be big. Congrats. I'm not so sure about that because of the way that they're going to see this. They're going to see this as the cops didn't do anything wrong and he did everything wrong. Let's see. You have rights. Cops have duties, says my entire channel is based on that. Cops didn't follow their oath. You're under arrest for disturbing the peace. Whose peace did I disturb? Yours, officer? Yeah, there you go. Process historian said whose peace was disturbed. That's a good point. It's like, did they take a poll of everybody who was in earshot? Ma'am, were you disturbed? Sir, were you disturbed? Whose peace was disturbed? Like if you were out in the middle of a desert and it was just you and two cops and you were yelling and stuff, you were disturbing the peace. Whose peace? What, the sand's peace? The cloud's peace? The sun's peace? Cops let the DMV steal from him. Then he aggravated kidnapped him for being mad about their theft. Let's see what this other video is. This is a very short video. Same guy, Max Crick.
I am.
Actually, you know what? Before I go over this video, I'm going to leave a comment. Oh, wait, maybe he has followed up. Is this the follow-up? Orlando Courthouse. Oh, this is Orland, California. Courthouse violating all sorts of people's rights on top of not being ADA compliant. Yeah, anytime you walk through one of these scanners, guys, you just gave up your Second Amendment right and your Fourth Amendment right to be secure in your person. It's like, wait, if you want to be secure in your person, you don't go through that. If you want to have try going through there with a firearm. I mean, I'm not suggesting you do that, but you got to give it up. So now this is a constitution. You've just entered a constitution-free zone. You are in foreign territory when you walk into one of these government buildings. Oh, I'm complying with you, officer. I'm complying with the policy. I'm complying with tyranny. I'm going to speed this up. I'm going 2 times the speed. I'm thinking that he's saying that the courthouse is violating all sorts of people. Let's see. Wait, what do we got here? God, I can't stand these constitution-free zones. I'm just thinking that he's saying that they're violating rights because they're having to strip their Second Amendment right and their Fourth Amendment right by going through that cattle scanner.
Corporal injury upon a spouse.
All right, let's. Oh wait, we got cop interaction here.
You're not allowed to record.
This is actually.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Confidential client communication. You're at a courthouse. You're not allowed to record.
This is.
Oh, here we go.
Sir, please.
Public call.
Sir, this is a confidential discussion. You cannot record this, sir.
You're in a public hallway.
Okay, I would prefer that you don't record this, sir. Please.
You probably should ask for a private room.
Yes.
You should probably ask for a private room.
Sir, please do not record a confidential client communication. You're at a courthouse. You're not allowed to record.
This is actually a public hallway.
You're in a courthouse. You're not
This is
allowed
a
to
public
record in
hallway.
here.
This is a public hallway.
Okay, you're not allowed to record.
This is a public hallway.
You're not allowed.
This is a public hallway.
Allowed. You're not allowed. You don't have permission from the government to record in here. This is a constitution. Say, okay, cop, I just want you to say this. This is a constitution-free zone. Say that. This is a constitution-free zone on American soil. And the oath I took, I don't care about. Say that. You need to say, I'll leave if you just say those 2 things. This is a constitution-free zone on American soil, and the oath I took, I don't care about. They're not going to say that. The oath I took to protect your right to freedom of press in a public place, I'm not going to protect it. I'm actually going to violate it. Say that, and I'll leave. Go ahead, say it. Not going to say it.
If you guys want, no, this is a public hallway. I'm not in the courtroom.
Did you come through security?
I did with a phone.
That's private.
Then it's private.
No.
Oh.
You're kicking me out of. I'm waiting for court.
Meeting.
Out of what meeting? It's public. This is a public hallway, and that's the exit.
Yeah, they hate the Constitution. Their character is corrupt. They're completely immoral. They don't care about the oath that they took, which means they don't care about you. Yeah. If a cop ever comes up to me and says that, I hope I have the wherewithal to say, okay, you're wanting me to leave for exercising freedom of the press. So what I want you to say that'll cause me to go out, walk out of this building is this is a constitution-free zone on American soil. We don't honor the Constitution here. I want you to say, number 2, that the oath that you took to protect the Constitution, you are now violating. You're 100% on a scale of 1 to 10, a scale of 10 violating that. And I want you to tell me that we might as well be in China and not America. And they won't say that. because there's legal repercussions and ramifications for saying that. If you're in a public place with a camera, okay, so would it be okay for these lawyers if 3 people were standing within earshot listening to the conversation? Would they be okay with that? Because they were okay with knowing that a presence was standing next to them. The one thing they freaked out about was the camera was there. So they'd be okay with somebody just standing there because they weren't doing anything. If that conversation was so private and so important to keep secret, they would have created privacy. They would have done what this cameraman said, Max Crick said, is go into a private room. But they didn't do it. What they would rather do is violate your rights to keep themselves from creating the privacy that they say that they're all concerned about. Crazy. It's crazy. And that's why we do what we do with this on this channel. That's why people do what they do in the First Amendment auditing community, because we got to sensitize people to the facts that you have rights. If you don't know you have rights and you don't exercise your rights, you're going to lose whatever remains of the rights that we have. It's going to go out the window. It's gone. It's done. So thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being here. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button right now. Make sure you share this video. I'm going to try to keep this. Oh man, I was trying to keep it under an hour. Okay, so I'm out of here. Thanks for supporting this channel. If you want, grab a hard-hitting conversation starting design from the store. You can put on a shirt, hoodie, mug, cell phone case that you're going to use to record the police. Remember, anytime you get into an interaction with the cops, turn this thing on. This will save your bacon, possibly. Might not get you out of jail, but it will definitely, this is your portable courtroom. This is your portable jury. You have 12 people in your pocket when you pull this out. All you want to do is show the jury how innocent you are and how guilty they are. Never forget to record the police. Always film the police. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video. Take care.